I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice.
Do your own research.
Consult a professional investment advisor before making any investment decisions.
This show is for entertainment only. Faites vos propres recherches.
Here we are in another episode
At the Simple Success Podcast.
and
This is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
I can't believe it's week 52 of the year. Indeed, time flies by so fast, but you have remained doubtingly true to your name, Doubting Thomas. Puns aside, it's time to take stock of how far we've come and where we are. I can tell you this, we are 100% of the way through this year. 2 full years of podcasts. Definitely a milestone. And how do you measure this improvement? I listen to us weekly. I must be doing something to improve myself. Fair enough. Now, what are some of the things that you are doing to improve? Well, everything you've been saying from episode 1. Like loosening up a little from your doubting self? Following the current vibe, yes. If it would make me 1% better, I mean. Yes, DT, we are talking about improvements from the little steps we make each week. Ooh, baby steps that together make a big difference at crunch time. That's right, DT. Without baby steps, one cannot make a profound or lasting impact. I get it. That's why you are asking me about some of the improvements I have made. Yes, I know there's a lot that we've talked about this year, so we need to look back and take stock of our improvements so far. And you have a formula for that, I presume. As a matter of fact, I do, DT. You're amazing sometimes. Thanks. But I'm probably less amazing than your math. That's not exactly one of my biggest surprises, but it's just part of the story we do weekly. In fact, I have gotten so good at it that you can't tell whether we are having a normal conversation right now or if I'm making fun of you. But you still have this formula, right? Bingo. Take it away, DT. Tricking my mind into thinking I am rich and seeing the results. Wait, what? Riches. I am slowly growing rich by thinking like a rich person. Yes. But are you moving ahead without me here? I don't know what you're saying. My headphones are going out. I might have overused them listening to our subconscious mind episode. Good one, DT. That was episode 22. And we also talked about controlling your mind in episode 12. Or letting your mind control you, which should be one of your biggest concerns. Control. I hate being controlled by anyone or anything, which is why I decided to control my mind. Good for you, DT. How's that coming along? Any bits of news? I am happier now because I realized that happiness is an inside job. Ooh, allow me to write that down. I'm sure it's never been said before. So what's the 1% thing about? The 1% thing is that we are looking back on all the progress we've made this year and doing a little mind game. Yeah, I get it. Let's do it. Okay, so today you are 1% better at your thing than you were yesterday. Okay, I will try to be 1% better tomorrow. No try, just do. This is not a backup role. This is your big time. Right, I will be 1% better tomorrow. And you write that down. Have you started writing your goals, DT? How else would I remember all these nuggets of wisdom if I didn't write them down, John? Well, that's easy. By some superpower from the universe. Ha ha. Well, I have a superpower. It's all within me. I can be and do anything. Wow, that's another improvement I've made. You mean like that guy we've talked about a couple of times? Which guy? Thomas Edison's business partner. Oh, yes. Edwin C. Barnes. That was a manifestation, if there ever was such a thing. True that. The guy knew the power of thinking the right thoughts and thinking things into being. He had an audacious goal that probably scared him.
That's good.
It is, because if it didn't scare him, then it wasn't big enough. Now it's your turn. What can you highlight as your annual improvements? We have gotten better at this podcast, for one thing. Good. And what things do you PPR? Everything. You can now call me the master of practice, persistence, and repetition in all I do. You mean you also use this stuff in your life? Of course I do. Otherwise, what do you think gives me the confidence and the authority to repeat the same thing over and over? Persistence and repetition. Which is the same thing. That's why it's called repetition. Could you repeat that? No.
I see what you did there.
How many times do babies learning to walk fall down?
I don't know, but I guess they fall down many times.
Have you heard of a baby who fears walking because they fell down on the first try?
That doesn't make sense. How else would they learn how to walk?
Exactly. They forget the pain of falling and try again and again until they become great at walking. They can choose fear or faith, like we all can, and they choose faith.
Faith sounds fine. I'll go with faith too.
A rose by any other name would smell just as sweet.
Even Shakespeare knew this stuff.
I have made my point.
You also need to practice being consistent with breaks.
I do. In fact, we shall now be embarking on
Break number 1.
Hello, everyone. This is John with the Simple Success Podcast, financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Because we know you want to show us some serious love in return for the tremendous benefits you get from us. Please head over to the support link in our written show notes. That's the words on your podcast player. There, you can choose from a $9.99 per month doing level of support, a $4.99 knowing level, or a basic intro level of just 99 cents per month. Great place to start. Whichever you choose, thank you so much for helping us do this for you. And to leave us a voice message, which just might see the light of day in a future podcast, go to those same written show notes. You'll go to a site where you can leave a video, audio, or text-only message, depending on how you feel at the moment. You can also send us an audio file attached to an email if you use just more than your phone for stuff. I won't repeat those links because weird. And anyway, show notes. It's all in there, and it's all easy.
Let's start this middle part with some average person math.
You mean maths?
I do not. We are not being British at the moment.
And you might never be, but what's the math?
It's what 1% better every day looks like in a year.
And what did you get?
Well, if we improve by 1% every day with 365 days in a year, then it would take us to 100% better.
That's keeping it simple.
Which is right?
Usually, yes, but this takes a little compounding.
Still simple, I hope.
I'm going to make it simple.
I can't wait, my liege.
Here goes. You're going to use the little powers key.
Ooh, I've waited my whole 2-year-old life for this.
In English, repeat after me.
Okay, repeating.
1.01 raised to the power of 365.
We're gonna ask that Alexa math wizard thing to do that for us.
Of course we will.
1.01 raised to the power of 365 is 37.783.
37.78 times?
Yes, mi amigo. Get just 1% better every day.
Just a teeny tiny bit, not the biggest difference.
And when a year goes by, you'll be more than 37 times better.
At what?
At whatever is your goal. Wealth, physical fitness, job performance, any of those and more.
They all count?
Yes, they do. Por ejemplo, let's say you want to lose weight. What would you do?
Hit the gym and work out.
Right, but that's not a goal.
What is it?
It's an activity, working out, that depending on how you do it could lead to many different goals.
Oh, so it might discourage you at first, even though it's achievable.
Yes, break it down to smaller goals that can be achieved daily.
Eat the elephant one bite at a time, in other words.
That works, especially since it's a pre-packaged metaphor.
I would use examples that can contribute to my fitness journey here.
What contributes to weight loss?
Let's see. The right diet, exercise, and enough sleep.
Yep, now break them down further.
You can break them down further?
Yes. Diet isn't signing up for some program. Diet is lifestyle. It's subordinating every other thing your brain wants to do, like eating a great cookie and releasing some dopamine, to the process of the big goal. Same with exercise and sleep.
So, you're saying I should make my goals small and attainable?
Yes. Break them into mini habits and make sure they are realistic for you. We, humans after all, are creatures of habit, and be patient. It might take years to get some things right.
Oh, like taking breaks from my computer to go get drinking water.
Yes, or taking a glass of water with you when you first sit down. Even better. I can see you get the hang of these goal-driven habits.
So, these small improvements in my routine will bring continuous improvement to the big goal of weight loss, right?
Yep, that's right. A little at a time. And not just weight loss either.
What's the limit?
There is no limit except maybe your imagination.
I am now curious about how my investments can grow from 1% every day to 37 times at the end of the year.
That, DT, is what we'll cover in Act 3 today.
Tell me how.
I'll break it down to you in just a moment.
But first, break number 2.
We know a lot about you already because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es bueno, Sybil. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it, and you win too. Can I simple that? Por supuesto. Of course. Just simple it.
Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened and your tray tables are in their upright position.
And make sure simple is a verb like Google is a verb.
Before the break, I asked you how my investments can grow from 1% every day to 37 times at the end of the year.
Yes, you did, DT. And I, for my part, made no commitment to providing any answer. Small steps add up to big achievements, you know.
You're not going to answer the question? Then how will you tie this whole thing to investing? It's my favorite part.
Calm down, DT. Breathe. Imagine yourself at the beginning of last year. What were your financial goals?
I had many. I remember you made me write them down in episode 2 on financial goals.
I did. Now, did you go back to read them?
Yes, I did. Does this have to do with investing? I hate to have to ask in such a direct and embarrassing fashion.
Yes, it does. You have to be asking the right question to successfully invest, and looking for the right question is what we're now doing.
So what is the right question then? I'm guessing you're leading somewhere with this.
It's not how much your investments grow.
It's not. Every broker says it is.
No, it's how comfortable you are with the whole process.
And your place in it.
So at the end of the year, you'll need a telescope to look back on where you were.
¿Por qué?
Because you'll have become 37 times more comfortable in a year simply by getting 1% better at investing every day.
But you can't measure that as though it were an investment return.
That's right, and it's one of the reasons you don't need a broker.
But how do you become 1% more comfortable every day?
You see percent improvements like that by trying new things. New things for you, like maybe crypto or maybe real estate if you don't have enough to meet your goal.
How do you measure the, 0.01 thingy?
You don't.
You don't?
You're getting too technical. Just be comfortable by trying and trying until it doesn't hurt to try.
That seems too risky.
Not if you take things very slowly and in very small numbers.
Okay, so you gradually let yourself feel good, not any percent worse.
Yes, while also pushing yourself regularly, just like at the gym.
How will I know I'm growing?
By evaluation from time to time, just like you learn not to weigh yourself every day at the gym. Take stock and adjust your goals where necessary.
What does that mean?
It means practicing, even when you think you're great and you don't need it anymore. Do it anyway.
Even when you think you don't, you do. By the way, do you read minds also?
No, just yours, ours, whatever. And I've gotten pretty good at it over time.
Right, and I know you're going to credit practice, persistence, and repetition here.
You would too.
Which is a good thing, right?
Yes, it is very good, but it can be better.
How much better?
About 37 times, I think, like all your positive takeaways and those of our listeners.
So we just have to think right, and of course do a blog post.
That would be correct.
Yep.
Which is how you've all gotten good.
Gracias por escuchar.
Salut. À la prochaine.
This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries. The supporting cast who helps me bake the bread includes
Techno King, John C. Brandy, Fact Checker, Abraham Lincoln, Script Consultant, OpenAI, Language Consultant, Ever Evolving, Media Expert, Favor Abassi EK, Psychologist, William James, Rabbit Hole Advisor, Dr. Mark Barrett, Sound Designer, Guglielmo Marconi, Videographer, Alfred Hitchcock, Inspiration, many podcasts and other sources, and of course Napoleon Hill.
We also have websites, and you can subscribe to both podcasts and get ebooks and other great stuff. You can send us a video, audio, or text message, but of course, you'll have to head to the show notes, either on your phone or on the web, to actually get links and stuff. And those clickable links are in the show notes.
And before we forget, The artificial intelligence or AI voices you hear in our work come from Google, Amazon Polly, OpenAI and the online tone generator linked in the show notes.
Finally, you can find us on podmatch.com and matchmaker.fm, where we consider guests and guesting on other pods.
And really finally, the music for our pods comes from Cute by Ben Sound and from Piano Background by Nick Simon Adams. The sound effects credits go to Jackson Academy Ashmore, Canoe CG, Dr. Jekyll, Joe Payne, Everything Sounds, MK Play More Stories, ERH, Sand Emotions, Big Pickle 51, and Just Kidding. Yes. That's his or her name, all on freesound.org.
Paul.